Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Throwing on first down is Manning. And his first pass is incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Manning on third down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. So Dalton now. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for Cincinnati. 59 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Manning going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Bengals getting set to go. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays,
and he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. 2nd down, Dalton. And he's going to go down again. Dante Hightower in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A big third down play there for the Bengals. 42 yards. Dalton, 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Over here.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times do we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They can have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Manning now on 1st down. Goes underneath here to White. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down here to the 43. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a carry for White. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On third down, Manning to Michel on the dump off. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football?
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Patriots coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Over here, over here.
Dalton throwing on second down. His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Manning to throw on second down. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Manning, and he comes back with one complete. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. It's complete right side to Benjamin. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Manning now on 1st down. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Manning. Wide open. Gronkowski. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On 1st down, Manning. And a dump off to White. And he gets it down to the 32. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Zebra.
Again, it's Manning. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Manning. This is caught. Gronkowski. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and it's 3rd and 4.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead is down to 28-10. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. The Bengals hoping Mixon improves on the numbers from his rookie year. He's back there again on first down. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
52-44. Get ready for 57 over there.
The final act of the first half. Dalton, he's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry?
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but you got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. He got 29 yards that time.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll give it to Mixon. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
4th down, ball's at the 1-yard line. Do you go for it, or do you go ahead and kick a field goal? I think because you're going to end up giving a long field, even if you don't score, I put my trust in my defense. I go for it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Showing some grits and some guts going for it there. 4th and goal, pounding it in.
And being rewarded for that confidence in the team, huh? The coach saying, let's go ahead and get this. And how about the guys up front firing out, finding a little bit of a crack for them to get through? Touchdown. I love it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They stay on the ground with White. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Benjamin's got it, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Regular.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain 59 on that play.
59.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I got to get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To the left side here for Eifert. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners.
It's caught inside the 25. And a big 32-yard play on third. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got back now in Foxborough. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And the pitch goes to Mixon. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there. Taking it in from 24 yards out. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. Bullock good on the extra point. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. Right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now Manning. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On 1st and 10, Manning. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Got his man. It's Eifert. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now a play fake here on first down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Joe Mixon. That'll be a gain of 16, and that'll bring up a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guy.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? And he said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing on first down is Manning. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended target. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Space to maneuver at the 40, and he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Not running. Dalton wants to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Regular.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Now Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Gronkowski, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. One final try now from Manning. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Mixon fixing for another big game. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Ryan Tannehill will be orchestrating the offense, the top 10 pick back in 2012.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The receiving numbers for Kenny Stills in last week's game. 5 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first. But he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson.
Now, that's a great play defensively, and one thing we do know, both of the corners are going to face a lot of action in this game, whether that offense likes to fling it around.
The safeties, they better be ready to be engaged as well. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And his first look is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on fourth down. So they are going for it. Now Dalton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and that will force a turnover on downs. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunky yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. Going deep here for Stills. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And some room to work. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The numbers for Mixon last week. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just 1-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped off a few long jaunts as well.
Passing. It's Dalton. Caught. Eifert over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Back to Mixon on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. And Dalton to throw. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. So
now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Tannehill. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this one is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
A handoff to Mixon. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. He completes it to Boyd. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
5-0.
Dalton throwing on second down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it third down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Dalton. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. His second touchdown on the season, and the Bengals add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing it further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. The Bengals hoping Mixon improves on the numbers from his rookie year. He's back there again on first down.
We're good. We're good. Hey, get ready for something coming left.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's 2nd down.
That was a long pass attempt downfield, and the ball was popped up in the air. And how come things go from really fast to almost slow motion when the ball's up in the air and the defender's unable to haul it in before it hits the ground?
They'll run with Mixon. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time, as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. To throw here, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. 4th down. Dalton wants to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
That's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Tannehill. Incomplete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Mixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So a loss of 5. And it'll be 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Returning it, John Ross. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way down to the 27.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come. All the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Over here, yes.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Regular. Easy.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And a catch good. It's Eifert. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety? Coming up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. William Hayes in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about it. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. Hard throw, incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll run with Drake, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Over here. Yes.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with the lead...
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Andy Dalton now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Throwing, Dalton. Flushed out right. He gets this one to Boyd. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking to Mixon on the check down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the 1st quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribe, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there at 22.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. To the air again, Tannehill. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And some room to roam now. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. On the toss, Bernard. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Bullock out now to kick this one away. On the return comes Drake. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He dumps it off to Drake. And it's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through, and that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Once again, they run with Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Timeout offense.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7.
Easy.
Mixon with it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hey, get ready for something coming left.
They'll run with Mixon. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Bengals, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Miami, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Bye.